Hello, welcome to our garden. Today is go day. Last night we had -2, tonight it's 4, tomorrow 8, and so on and so forth. Last frost date's 21st. Looking at long range forecasts, we look like we are ready to start planting. So today, pumpkins. I seeded these up 7th of March. They're doing really well. I have got root network coming out, so I'm expecting this to be mostly full. Now, whilst the frost should now have passed, let me just lift this camera up a little bit. Frost now should have passed. I'm not completely confident. These guys have had a couple of days where they've been outside and then brought in at night time just to make sure the frost stays off of them, but they are quite hardy anyway. So I've got a couple of different options of what I can do. Now, I could just put them in the ground as they are. I personally think they might be fine actually, but I want to be extra careful. So I'm going to cover them, but I'm going to cover them a little bit differently. Now, what I'd usually do, take a lemonade bottle, chop it, and then plonk it down over the plant. However, these are a bit too big. They're not going to do that. So I could use a much larger bottle. This would work quite nicely, but I've just taken my cloches off of my salad, or my bell jar, sorry. To these here. They're ever so good. It's the first year I've used this sort of thing, but I am really liking it. And I have 2 of them, and I have 2 pumpkins, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll take you outside. We'll have a little butcher's at exactly what's going on, where I'm planting them, and we will get them in the ground. Right, so got my pumpkin. Plan for these is for these to sprawl all across my little path, which I'll show you in a moment. So a nice little bit of hole. This compost should be absolutely perfect now. Obviously this plant's going to get quite big, so it needs a fairly deep bit of hole for the root network to spread. There we go, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous root network. So she sinks in there, and then it's just a matter of firming her in. Beautiful. So as you can see, there's loads of moisture in there. So then you get your belt. Now I do still have a bit of an issue with slugs. So what I'm doing here is giving a little bit of a spin. So I get a little bit of a mound on each side. Then you take diddy little pegs, any little things. And there's 3 holes, one there, one here, and there should be another one at the back somewhere. There it is. There you go. Oh, and I forgot to put the peg in it. I'll just pop that at the front for now. Right. And then what you can do with these, which I think is quite nice, they have a little vent on the top. So I'm going to open it up a bit so it can keep some airflow. If we do get any frost, then that will keep it off. And then I'm just going to cover the lip. Just because then if any slugs do decide they want to get in, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them. There's plenty of moisture in the soil, and there's plenty of moisture on the pot as well. So I'm not too worried about watering that in at the moment. Although I may do that in a moment. Then, as I say, the plan is to have it sprawl all down this side. These pegs is where all the corn's going to be. There's 15 of them. My wife wanted to put some flowers at the back there, and then I think I'm going to put my Romanesca cabbage and things like that across that little bit there. Then the other pumpkin, see, I'll now plant that one. So that's going to go where the bell jar is there. And again, have it all sprawl here. Although I do think I'm going to end up putting some tomatoes just there. Right, let's get that one planted. So, same again. Oh, this ground doesn't feel quite as moist. Oh no, actually it's okay. The beds I'm planting in at the minute are not really very well established. I only made these last year. They haven't had a proper growing season yet, but try and remember to put that in before I take it out. Right. So look, see how the root network is on this, and again, look at that. Nice strong root network in it. Again, place her in the hole. Take the soil away, put it all back in, and make sure you compress it down. All this salad, this is getting picked in the next day or two. It's only a mixed leaf, but unfortunately this bed does have a slug issue, which is why you can see blue pellets, which I don't really like using. I tried using a nematode solution, which worked on the strawberry beds wonderfully, but this bed, because of the path that's all around, they seem to have gotten away without having too much against them. Oh, let's put this in this time. So I've got pumpkins there. Again, give it a little bit of a spin, although I'll go back to this side. Oh, too much. So let's just peg it in and then I'll backfill. 1, 2, and where's the other hole gone? There it is. 3. And just take a bit of the soil, get it all covered. Marvellous. There we go. Pumpkins planted. Thought while we're out here, we can show you how all these spuddies are doing. You can see they've come through, but this is the frost damage, unfortunately. I knew I was planting them a little bit early, but these should bounce back. Stand in the way of the light, that'll probably help. You can see how the leaves have curled over, but it hasn't happened with all of them. You see how that one, that's perfectly healthy, and same with the majority. And the raspberries are all coming up too, which is lovely. So pumpkins are in. Now they do require quite a bit of water with pumpkins, although what you do find is as they put their leaders out, so the long runner, as that comes out, each nodule where you get 2 leaves and you get a flower every 3rd, I think it is with these ones, if it's on moisture rich ground, like for example with all of the wood chipping that I've got down, it'll actually put out some roots just to try and gain extra moisture. It might do it, might not. Hopefully it does, because I'm quite keen on having some decent ones. I would say this is a learning journey for both of us if you've not grown pumpkins before, because most of my pumpkins have failed. We did grow one absolutely monumental one year, but I left it too long and the bottom started to go quite soggy. The kids and me and the wife, we all had fun carving it, but fundamentally that's what these pumpkins are for, just for the Halloween fun for the kids. None of us really like the flavour. I think my wife does, but me and the kids not so much. But yeah, that's all for today. Coming this week, I'll be getting the corn in, getting some brassicas in. Hopefully we'll start seeing a little bit of fruit on the peas, because I have noticed the peas just beside me are getting absolutely beautiful, and they have started to create little flower pods. There's some down the end on that side, and there's a couple over here. So yeah, spring's here, we're getting the heat, we're going to be getting on with planting and maintaining, and very, very soon harvesting. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.